years like you did the first 6 years, and jot this down. No. No, you don't have to live the second 6 years like the first 6. You can use all the information and all the advice and repairing all of your mistakes and adopting a new and refined philosophy so that the next 6 years can be totally different than the last 6. No other life form can do this. See, if you were a tree, you'd be stuck. As a tree, if you used up all the nourishment that was around you and you couldn't change location, see, you would die. But that's not true. Human beings can change location, go north, south, east, west, live here for a while, live somewhere else for a while. So that's a note to make. You can greatly alter the course of your life. Now here's the next note to make. 5 years from now, you will arrive. The question is where? If you keep up your present disciplines and keep up the present pace that you're on, where will you be in 5 years? Boy, it's easy to say, hey, I haven't really thought about that. So now make this note. In 5 years, here's the probability. You will either arrive at a well-designed destination or an undesigned destination. And I promise you, 5 years from now, you really don't want to arrive at an undesigned destination. Because you may very well wind up wearing what you don't want to wear, driving what you don't want to drive, living where you don't want to live, maybe doing what you don't want to do. Simply because you didn't design a better destination. Now, sometimes after we've lived a few years now to repair our mistakes.
Welcome to another episode of Breaking Bread, a safe place to share ideas on a human development delivered around food, fitness and motivation. I'm your host, Horace Jones, the Game Changer. This is your game-changing moment, okay? Today my guest is Claire Whitaker, and we're going to go over a few topics on a transformation that she's made over the past few months, and hopefully she can inspire a few people that probably was in the same place where she was a few months ago. And let's get a few ideas basically why she changed and what inspired her to, you know, make this big transformation. But first of all, I just want to tell the viewers a little bit about yourself, like, you know, what's your name, where you from, what is it that you do, you know, stuff like that. So yeah, so.
Well, my name's Claire Whitaker. I'm currently a PE teacher. I was running a PE department in Cheetham School of Music in Manchester. I recently decided to kind of cut my hours down in school and make a go for my self-employed business, which is an idea I've been sat on for years. And like Horace said, I made some changes recently in myself, my own personal development, to give me that drive and confidence to get going with it. Yeah, so I had barriers, I put up barriers and fear. I think a lot of people can relate to that. You live life in fear and you've got all these wonderful ideas, and yeah, sometimes you've just got to go for it. So I've set up my own business now, Hearts, which stands for Health, Education and Resuscitation Training Services. It's I deliver health and wellbeing packages to young children and teenagers, so around mental health, how the mind works, some self-help tools with that. I deliver resuscitation training, so any first aid qualifications, lifeguard training and assessing. I'm also delivering yoga to children, teenagers and adults, and some ladies boxing at the moment. And yeah, so there's quite a lot that I do. I'm also running some health retreats now, and I've just become a Reiki healer. So
wow,
that's
wow. Wow. It sounds like you're doing a lot of things, definitely. And but how was it like? All these ideas eventually just came to you. Like what made you say, okay, then right, I'm gonna go for this. I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna jump over the ledge. What kind of made you decide to do this?
Well, like I say, I've been sat on ideas for years. Me and my ex-partner, who's now unfortunately passed away last September, but years ago we had this amazing idea it was actually mine and his name, Hearts, that, you know, we were sat on, and we just never took it anywhere. I started to a little bit with the first aid, but we had these amazing packages, and obviously he passed away last September, and then we had lockdown, and I concentrated on my yoga teaching training qualification, so I had a lot of time on my hands to really think, and I started manifesting and saying, I was like having conversations with my sister saying, I want to run retreats, I want access to a minibus and this, that and the other. And then I do believe that's why we've met as well, you know, like it just seemed we came into each other's life and at the right time, and then you seem to have a similar vision of running retreats and helping people. And I've got to admit, you've been a massive positive in helping me get over those barriers and those fears, and giving me that kick up the bum, I suppose.
Game changer, yeah. Game changer.
So, yeah. And because I've always struggled with my own mental health and my own self-esteem, it's always been quite low, and self-doubt has been a massive barrier for me. Yeah, so I think having someone to help you believe in yourself. I was already going on this personal journey, and I do believe I was getting there, but then having someone like-minded as well to give you that little extra push is amazing. And I think it's really important to look at your circle around you, and yeah, basically.
So over the last couple of I don't know, months, would you say that there's been a drastic change in you as a person, and what changes have there been like for you to say, okay, you know, me making this transformation, I could see the difference in my mind state, my health, my fitness, and just the way I see life within itself. So when did these things start happening? I'm basically, you know, like for somebody that's feeling like less confidence and have these ideas, what could you say to them for them to say, you know what, yeah, right, I'm gonna do what Claire's done. I'm gonna wake up and I'm gonna go for it. So what made you say, you know, you wake up one Friday morning, Saturday morning, and say, listen, yeah, this is my plan, this is my goal, and I'm gonna hit it no matter what. Like what made you make that transformation, and when did it come?
I would say it started coming in January. I discovered the Law of Attraction Planner, and it basically gets you to think of life with no barriers, no financial barriers, no time barriers. You start to visualize what you want in life, how you want your life to be, with no barriers holding you back. So you write down these, I think it gets you to set 50 goals in life, and then it gets you to break them down into more smaller goals. And then, so I wrote my journey, like what I was starting to see life to be. And then what I've noticed, I had to buy a new planner, because everything that I had written down and started to visualize and believe in happened a lot sooner. So like I say, I started wanting to run retreats, but in my head that was going to be something in the next year or two. Then I've met Horace, and it all seems to be happening a lot quicker. It's been like go, 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 which at times has been overwhelming, and I've had to make sure I take that time to reflect that I am on the path that I want to be, and you know, feeling all aligned and everything. And it's really important. I would say to anyone who can relate to my struggles of self-worth, you know, self-esteem, take time out each day, just a little few minutes, and positive affirmations. So I am enough was my first one. I just thought, I've never felt enough, you know, like never felt worthy for love, just little things like that. Just start to love yourself. Self-love is the first point where you need to go with anything. So, and then everything will start jigsawing together, and you know, you'll start to blossom basically. So I'm still on that journey, and I'm sure, you know, your subconscious mind sometimes plays tricks with you, and your old habits, you know, that you've programmed your mind for years, all that self-negative talk, it will come back and try and fight this positive stuff that you're putting in place. But it's beautiful. It's a beautiful place to be, where you start recognizing it, and then you've got your tools and you've got your coping strategies to put back in place. And so I definitely think start looking at self-love, positive affirmations, start to visualize how you want your life to be, and set small goals to achieve that.
So one of the things I focus on is visualize, belief and time. And you spoke a lot about belief and how powerful it is to believe in oneself, and to visualize what you want. It's like you said, there's an old saying, be careful what you ask for, because you might get it. But most of the time, the things that we ask for are not the things that we really truly want. We ask for the things where it's like we're mostly ask for, well, bad health or bad this or bad this. It's more natural for us to ask for something, say something bad to come out of our mouths than something good. So when you do tell yourself, well, you know, I want to have this retreat, I want to have my own business, I want to do all these things, and then you start acting on it, these things start happening. So where did your belief come from? Or basically, how is it all of a sudden your belief seems to be like, you know, it's like the thing I'm getting from you now is like all of a sudden you've believed in the whole concept of how life works in the last, I don't know, last 8-9 months. You just like, I'm going to go for this, and you believe, and it's happening. Everything's it's happening. Before we go on, I want to check the messages. Do you want to see what the messages are saying? Because I know I can see a few people there, like they've got a few messages there. So, but yeah, carry on, please, carry on.
Yeah. So going back to that, what did you ask again?
I asked you about the concept of belief and how is it that all of a sudden now your belief is so strong? Like, why wasn't you this way 2 years ago, 3 years ago? Why is it all of a sudden now you're now believing that if you ask for something, you can have it? Like, why now?
Well, yeah, it's an interesting question. I've always been seen as a positive person to everyone around me, and I've always been a giver, and yeah, massively helped people in life. However, I've always felt like a little bit of a hypocrite, because at home my self-talk was quite negative, and my self-belief, it was never really yeah, I always struggled with it, and I'd have self-doubt, self-belief. So where's it come from? I think having positive people around me has massively helped. So like meeting Horace has been, honestly, people haven't even noticed it. They're like, you've lifted your game massively in months. The fact that I'm sat here talking on a camera is just one thing, because you know, I've always said I'm camera shy. I hate it. I was nervous coming on today, but the fact that I'm here doing it is massive. It takes me out of my comfort zone, and I think the more you surround yourself with people that do give you that encouragement to step out of your comfort zone and start believing in yourself, yeah. But I do think as well it's important to, it's like I suppose I've done a lot of self-work, self-love and everything, but I've also done a lot of self-reflection, and I think that's really important, to recognise that all your things that have happened in your life that have been quite negative, sometimes you're responsible for them, and it's taking that responsibility. And I've dug deep with me and wondered why I've attracted certain things into my life, and it is that what you said before, you be careful what you ask for. So for example, if you like, oh, I can't be bothered going to work today, I could really do with a day off. Next day you come down with an illness, and I do believe that that is your own mind sometimes. Yeah, you know, giving you what you've asked for. So yeah, you've got to be careful with that. Yeah, so self-belief for me, I've always been, I would class myself as a healing codependent. So I've always been dependent on other people's opinions of me for my own self-worth, and it's the first time ever in my life that actually now I'm believing in my own self. And it's lovely to have supportive friends on board who are giving me that extra encouragement, but I'm not depending on that anymore, because now I'm finally seeing, actually, Claire, you're doing amazing stuff in life, you're helping so many people, you're helping yourself, you're growing, you're evolving, and finally being able to say no to people. You know, when you can't be helping others when your glass isn't full, if you know what I mean. You've got to keep yourself healthy, and it's that recognition. It's all falling together for me. Still, like I say, I'll still have my negative, the odd little day where my thoughts can be negative, but now I've got those tools where I can quickly pull myself out of that.
So one of the things I heard you say was basically about your circle. Now, I'm a big believer in, like, saying that everybody needs a coach, everybody needs a mentor. If we look at anyone at the top of the peak of the game, they have a coach. So if you look at the best tennis player, he's got a coach, or she's got a coach. If you look at the best football team, they've got a coach. If you look at the best swimmer, he's got a coach, she's got a coach. You look at anybody that's at the top of their game, they've got someone that they can check into, that can see where they're missing little tweaks, okay? And I feel as if like that's probably where, when Claire mentions me, I think that's where I probably fell into a gap, where it's like saying, okay, then right, I can see what you have, but maybe you need to do this, or maybe you need to like say, okay, I'm not going to do it tomorrow, I'm going to do it today. But that's a big thing with being around people that can pinpoint things that can help you get better, rather than pinpoint the things that you're not good at and focus on them. Like I always say to people, you know, like we find it as human beings to say something horrible than to say something nice. And this is why your circle is so important, because as much as you need to be your own cheerleader, the people that are in your circle also have to be your cheerleader, as well as you being their cheerleaders. And it's like about each one, teach one, everyone, bringing everybody up at the same time. But the biggest thing that's kind of like impressed me with Claire is, like I said, the confident concept. It's like I believe in that everything's already inside us. Everything, the confidence, the wisdom, the knowledge, everything's already in us. There's a saying, we're like diamonds in the rough. So most of us, all we need is a bit of polishing. And once we have that polish, then we can start living that life that's inside of us, because we've all been blessed with dreams and ideas. Every single person on this planet has been blessed with a dream and idea. Sometimes because we're chasing other people's dreams, we don't hear our own. Okay, so when somebody can brush you off and start making you see the qualities that you have inside, then you can start shining. So, for example, for this young lady here, in the last couple of months, she's probably made more money than she's made probably, I don't know, in the last year of her doing what she normally does by just coming out of her comfort zone. So that's another thing, guys. When you come out of your comfort zone, there's so much new things to learn, and there's so much new things to absorb as well. Like she was saying, she wanted to do a retreat, maybe it would be next year, but she's already started. So by next year now, she's doing bigger ones, she's doing better ones. You know, she's already had experience. The same thing, she's now doing Reiki Healing again. Next year, she's doing it bigger and better. So it's all about you having an idea, and as they say, striking while the iron is hot, and that's what she's basically done. The qualities are already inside of her. You know, the game changer's not done it. All the game changers are, listen, let's do that today. Let's jump on that. Got idea. It's like, let's do it now, yeah? So what's the worst that can happen? Well, it doesn't happen, so what? Let's cry again. And that's all I've done. I've basically been a bit of a coach to her, to say, listen, you know, I believe in it. I know you can do these things. And sometimes that's all we need as individuals, to somebody to say, yeah, I believe in you. Because sometimes, yeah, of course you can, sorry, yeah.
Well, a massive positive to having Horace in my life was, I used to hold back on my ideas and think, wait, this, you know, put barriers like wanting it to be perfect before putting it out there. And I love that about Horace, because he goes, just do it. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just get it out there. You know, social media, use it, get on the camera. I'm like, yeah, but I'm camera shy. I was always putting these barriers up, and he really does push you forward. So I do recommend getting a coach just for that one thing alone, because sometimes you'll tell your own mind like, oh no, I'm not ready yet. That's what I used to always think. I'm not ready yet. But what's the point in waiting when you can just crack on, get that practice? Yeah, it might go wrong, and what, you know, you'll learn from the mistakes and you'll do better next time. So that's been a massive positive for having you in. Do me head in sometimes. Like phoning me up, go, come on, get your photos on the you know, social media. You've not advertised your class yet, but it's been great as well. So yeah, as frustrating as it can be sometimes, because you think, well, I don't like them photos, or I look, you know, like, oh, my hair was out of place, or yeah, and it is just, it doesn't have to be perfect. Just crack on.
That's it.
Being a massive.
That's it. Yeah, absolutely, you're absolutely right. We all strive for perfection, and there's nothing that's been perfect. There isn't such thing as perfect. All it is being hours at your craft, and you get better at that craft. But if we look for things to be perfect, sometimes we'll never get it started. For me, sometimes I just think, just press record and let it flow out my brain, and I can always adjust it as it goes on, or I can always change it. But the point of the matter is to get it started, get it going, get that business going, get that idea going, and eventually you can grow an idea, you can change it, you can tweak it, But if you're not going to get it kick-started, it means that that idea will never manifest. So, like I said, don't worry about like I said, I've now got lights, I've got a stand. Going back a couple of months ago, I had no light, I had no stand, you know. So as time goes on, you make a bit of money, you can invest in this, you can invest in that, and then things start growing. Another thing as well, like the Game Changer, which is a CIC company, I was always looking for people to be able to come into this organisation and help me to develop my ideas. And I seen Claire and I thought, yeah, this young lady has ideas, she's got a vision, and she's got skills. And again, that's why some people don't understand that once you get out into the big wild world, then you're more accessible for people to see what you have as a person, skill-wise. Now, if you're in your house, how can you meet people? How can you interact with people? How can that person see what you're selling or what you have? So when she came out and she showed me, I can do this and I thought, okay, then that should be a good candidate to be a part of the Game Changer. And that's, you know, she's now on the right. And how do you feel? How do you feel about being a game changer?
I thought when you let me know that I was invited to be a director of this community interest company, I was like delighted. I thought that's amazing, you know. Yeah, so I didn't have to think too long about my decision. I was like, yeah, I'm definitely into that idea, and yeah, so it's been. I felt very privileged and honoured, I suppose is the right word. Yeah. So, and I think our ideas between us, and I think we've got two very like-minded minds, but we're growing, if that makes sense. So like, I don't know, we're just finding more ideas, like now the kids cooking show and stuff like that, that's growing, and then the business, you know, giving them that investment knowledge, and just, I think we're just going to keep growing, and I think the Game Changer company, interest company, like, it's going to do so much good for people out in society. It's going to help people with addictions, which is something near and dear to my heart, getting people off the streets, you know, people on low incomes. We've got, you know, so much to offer with our skill set, and yeah, so please start putting some money in the funds, because we've got some good ideas of what we want to buy with that as well, and we're going to be applying for
absolutely
as well. So there's going to be projects, and we're growing. We're at the start of something
definitely
very big here, so it's nice.
As Claire says, the biggest thing is about, like I said, is when you would like-minded people, the ideas just flow, and that's when you know your team's good. Where like the company that I'm setting up here, it's not about the company being Horace Jones. The company's, it's like every individual owns the company. It's not my company. It's like, okay, if you have an idea, let's run with your idea. You know, I'm just here to say, okay, then I'm like your cheerleader. You know, and like I says, when you are with like-minded people, the ideas just flow. When you're with people where, you know, you say something, oh, what about this idea? Oh, no, it won't work. You know, so before the ideas even start or get to blossom, someone's already shot you down. And me and Claire was talking about it the other day. We went for a walk, and we kind of got a bit lost. I wouldn't say lost, it's like it was different that direction. Should I go this way? Should I go that way? And I had in my head the path. I knew the path in my head. I was slightly, maybe, I don't know, maybe about 2%, not sure, but the path was in my head. And Claire was like, oh, let's go this way. And after we spoke, and I was saying to Claire, you know, sometimes on your journey, that people can easily make you feel doubtful about the journey that you're on without realising that they're doing it. And it's not a bad thing. I think us as humans sometimes, we want to help, but we don't understand the help that we're giving sometimes could be detrimental to the person who's on that journey. Okay? So it's like if I'm trying to do something, and you'll say, no, let me do it this way. You're not giving me the chance to grow, or for me to make the mistakes that I have to make for me to learn. So it's all good you having people around you that's going to help you, but sometimes you got to look into the help that you're trying to provide, because sometimes, remember, each one of us has still got our own path to follow. Even though we can come together, work together, each one of us has still got our own destiny, our own journey. But yeah, it's just understanding that sometimes, you know, we can squash somebody's dreams without even understanding it, you know, by just sometimes, you know, some words that we say or things that we come out with. And that's where the confidence comes in, because the more you make mistakes, or the more you try things, the more confidence you get So when somebody says something to you, you say, well, I don't care what I say, I'm going to do it anyway. Because my confidence is built up. And that's what I've liked about Claire over the past couple of months. Her confidence is built up that way, where now she's now resilient to people saying certain things. You know, so, well, I'm going to do it anyway. And that's what a game changer is about. It's about you understanding that the power is already inside you. But sometimes you just need people around you to say, listen, you can do that. Yes, you can do that. Yes, you got the powers. Yes, you can push it. Da, da, da. So that's what we're at right now. So the game changer is going to be surrounded with a lot of projects, where one of the projects we've got is Breaking Bread, which is what we're doing here now. But we've got Breaking Bread Junior, which is going to be teaching young kids about baking, cooking, nutrition, finance, cryptocurrency, basically what's going on right now in the future. We're going to try and teach them stuff that, let's be honest, they're not getting taught in school. And we're going to show them how to basically be entrepreneurs, how to make money, how to invest money. And we're going to still be doing the retreats, taking people away. So there's lots of things that we're going to be doing. So guys, if you can donate to the page, it'd be great, because these things do cost. So if you can donate, it would be great. We'll still be doing the cooking shows to inspire you guys how to cook. I'll still be doing a fitness class to inspire you guys. So don't think that you're giving into something that you're not getting nothing back, because I will still be posting stuff that I know you guys like. Also, again, when we do have these facilities and these adventures, it means that people can come for free. You don't have to pay. But yeah, we're just going to transfer into the kitchen now, and we're going to start cooking. Today's recipe is sweet and sour stir fry, and yeah, vegetarian. So let's go into the kitchen and let's make it work. Let's make it happen. I'm going to bring this chair in there. You sit there 1 second. Bring this chair in here. Have a seat there. There's yours. So yeah, guys, we're now into the kitchen, and we're going to carry on with our conversation. So first of all, I want to ask you about what is Reiki. Am I saying it right? Reiki Healing. Reiki Healing. What is Reiki Healing?
It's basically a relaxation therapy for the mind, body and soul. So our body is made up of little chakras, like chakras, Sanskrit word for wheel, so they're like little energy systems right through our body. There's like, I think it's 114 chakras that we've got. But a Reiki healer will work with the main 7 chakras. So you've got your root chakra, which is about like feeling safe, and so if that's basically you've got 7 chakras that a Reiki healer would work with, and sometimes your chakras can become stagnant or blocked, and that can result in physical ailments or illnesses through the body, and it can also lead to poor mental health and well-being as well. So a Reiki healer will work on each chakra to unblock any blocked or stagnant energy. So we use our hands to do that and basically help sending our love and energy through that person. And yeah, it's an amazing therapy. So if anyone actually wants to ever have a treatment, you can get in touch with me for that.
Or where can they find you? Like, have you got a website? Have you got email address?
Have you got a website?
Have you got Facebook? Are you on Instagram? Like, where can the people find you?
I'm on all of them. I'm www.heartstrainingservices.com. Yeah, that's my website. So you can get me on there. Or Instagram again is Hearts, and Facebook page I've got as well, Hearts Training Services. So yeah.
And the next thing is, why is it important for people to try and learn first aid? Like in your experiences, have you seen a situation where if you didn't know first aid, or if somebody did first aid, that person could have died?
Well, actually, I've actually witnessed someone dying. I was 12 years of age, and yeah, I was in my swimming lesson in Withington Docks, and a little boy, age 10, he was just been in the swimming lesson before me, and he was at his changing room cabin, and he just collapsed, and unfortunately he had an asthma attack basically, and unfortunately the lifeguards couldn't bring that poor kid round. They did everything they could, and he did die. But that always stuck with me, like it can happen to anyone at any time. That lad was 10, beautiful little boy. Yeah, he's no longer with us. And I then went on to become a lifeguard. I've always been a strong swimmer. Well, I've not always actually. I failed my free class in primary school. And then, but then I went on, my dad took us to swimming, and I was a late developer in the swimming area. I became like a national standard swimmer, so that was pretty good. And then, so I always had a love for swimming, and then I became a lifeguard at a young age, 17 I think I was. And yeah, so one thing led to another with that. I then became a lifeguard trainer and assessor, and first aid trainer and assessor. But like I say, yeah, I've saved a few lives myself, and the importance of learning first aid, I can't sell that enough to you, really. That's why I make all my courses very accessible price-wise, because I want everybody to be learning first aid. I think they're now starting to bring it into school curriculums as well, so all kids should be taught it. I teach the Anson Cabin Project. It's an amazing project that's run my childhood place, the Anson Estate in Longsight. So it's a council estate in Longsight I was brought up on. And there's a lady called Julie Scott who does amazing stuff with the kids there. She runs all sorts. She runs Duke of Edinburgh. You name it, she's run it there, let's put it that way. She gives them all sorts of life skills. Absolutely brilliant. And she brings me in to do the first aid training there. There was a 13-year-old lad who was on one of my courses, and then shortly after, a few days after, a baby stopped breathing on the bus, and nobody on that bus, no adult, knew what to do.
Wow.
And that kid actually saved the baby's life. He instructed the mother of the kid how to put the breath in, and he did the compressions. So to me, that's better than any financial payment for teaching first aid. I just think, yeah, it works and it saves lives. So but like I say, financially, my courses are all really accessible, so anybody can do it.
Claire, the game changer.
Get in touch if you want first aid training. I have got a course running, 2-hour basic first aid awareness course, and I'm running that at my brother's business establishment on the 27th of September at the Gherkin in Leverhulme. So do get in touch if you want a place on that. It's going to be on a Monday afternoon. It's a 2-hour basic first aid awareness course, so that's suitable for anyone who needs a qualification for their work purposes. A lot of companies opt for that qualification. Or it's if you're a parent and you want, yeah, just basic life support skills. It will equip you with the right amount of knowledge and hands-on experience with dealing with an emergency situation. Some like minor, like cuts and bruises and stuff, through to more severe delivering CPR and how to use the Jesus as well.
Wow.
So, yeah.
So right now, guys, I'll just give Claire a little break then. So far, I've got my noodles in there, got my mushrooms in, put a little bit of black pepper in there, bring a little bit of salt. I'm now going to add my ginger. Put my ginger in there. And we're going to add my bean sprout. I'm going to leave my peppers for a little while. I'm going to get back to putting the rest of them in. So going back to what you were saying, Claire, about the retreats. How would you feel to be doing something that you dreamt about doing, but now you're doing it? How does that feel?
It does feel amazing, to be fair, and I absolutely loved the first one we did. Everything, you could have said everything seemed to go against us, like weather was absolute torrential rain, but my favourite quote in life, I always get it jumbled up considering it's my favourite quote, it's not about waiting for the storm to pass, it's about learning to dance in the rain, and that absolutely happened on that weekend because it literally peed it down the whole weekend. But we had so much fun. We did yoga in the rain, which was difficult when you're doing like reverse warrior and the raindrops coming down in your eyes. It was quite challenging. But yeah, we swam open water swimming in the rain because we're wet anyway, so it was like, why let the rain stop you? And yeah, I've always been one, my little son reminded, well, he's not little now, he's 18, he's taller than me. He did remind me back in May on his birthday that when we ever let the weather stop us, Mum, and that was the attitude we took into that retreat, and we still ran it. And everyone who came along, we've seen massive transformations in people.
Absolutely.
They did amazing.
Absolutely.
And, you know, yeah, we had a great weekend, loved it. And we've got another one in 2 weeks if you want to come and meet new people, do new challenges, you know. And if you're worried, my best bit of advice for the retreats is just give it a go. Just get out there and face your fears. And just go with it. I have a lot of respect for one woman in particular. I'm not going to name her or anything, but she, you know, she stepped out of her comfort zone in the last one, and she was absolutely amazing, beautiful lady. She had a lot of challenges to face in life, physical, mental, everything, and she did amazing on that retreat. And it was so nice for us to see a transformation in just 1 weekend. You know, yes, the retreats are amazing. Amazing experience to just try new things.
Absolutely.
We're going to be doing lots of yoga and mindfulness on the next one. Probably a bit more, hopefully, this time round. We did do some, but I felt not enough. Yeah, and nice country walk up the Old Man Coniston. Yeah, so come along, guys.
So again, as what Claire's saying, you know, it's again for me, I've been wanting to do walks up mountains. I've been wanting to go camping, but most of the friends I grew up with were not into stuff like that. So it's like, well, you know, how do I get to do these things? And it was like, yeah, I want to do it by myself. But when I thought, if I do it by myself, I'm likely to make more mistakes rather than do it with somebody who's done it previously. So that's when I thought it was a great idea to team up with Claire and get these things going. Now, once we got them going now, like I said, it opened up more windows again. And this is what I'm saying to people, like, once you give that first step, you know, the next step comes naturally. You know, and it's like, instead of staying at home saying, you know, this is not going to work, that's not going to work, like, for example, as she said, we got there, it was raining every single day. Absolutely raining every single day. You know, we could have thought, well, you know, let's go back home. But, you know, like I said, we still had a great time. We still developed friendships. We still developed, for example, things like giving people a different food source. Again, going on the mountain, we still developed all these things over a period of time. So what I'm saying to you guys is, you have to get out there and do it. It's so definitely up to you to make things work. Instead of us finding the reasons why it won't work, let's try and find reasons why it will work. So definitely it's something that I'm going to say to people that, you know, you've got what, 4 more months left before the end of the year, and most of us for the last 9 months we've been on autopilot. We've been doing what comes natural to us, easy. Come out of the comfort zone. Like I said, if it's camping that you've been wanting to do, or you want to try it but you don't think it can work, give it a go. What's the worst that's going to happen? You're going to get wet. You know, and that's what I'm saying to people, like, don't sit at home wishing to do things when there's opportunities in front of you to start doing things. And for me, it's all about having stories. You know, when I tell my kids, you know, I walked up Ben Nevis. Now, is that a bit? Now, let me put it this way: which story sounds better to tell my kid? Oh, this weekend I walked up Ben Nevis. Or this weekend I went out to the pub and I got pissed. Now, which story sounds a little bit better? You know what I mean? And that's how I see life. It's about stories, and what stories do I want to tell my kids? You know, or what things do I want my kids to see? And that's why I'm trying to do all these adventures, so eventually I can bring my kids along, and then yeah, we can do things together. Also, my kids can see different ways of living. So it's not just what TV puts in front of us. You know, you can start seeing the different way to life, the different way of seeing things, and yeah, that's what I'm enjoying. I'm definitely enjoying the ride. So just seeing Claire developing her skills has definitely made me happy, because the whole point about me being a game changer, or anyone being a game changer, is to help people change their lives. It's to help people see the greatness within them and start acting on it, you know. And for me, as what Claire was saying before, there is no price that can give, there's no money that can give you that satisfaction as seeing somebody change and now developing or doing things that they've been wanting to do for a long time. So definitely that's what the game changer is about, guys. And like I said, we're all game changers in our own little way. We just got to up our game and make it happen. So you can see my stir fry now, guys. I've got the peppers in there, got my ginger in there, got my mushrooms in there, my spring onion. I've got my bean sprout. That's what I'm looking at there. So all what's left is my coriander, which I'm going to put on last, and my sweet and sour sauce. And again, these kind of things, guys, you know, they don't take long. They're a quick food, packed with sources of vitamins that my body needs. And again, I try and stay away from pasta, so I try not to eat things like this for too long, but every now and again it's a great meal to have. Sorry, let me just
that's another good positive about our retreats. We have Horace doing all cooking, and it's all from fresh. Whenever I've been camping on my own, that's probably one of my downsides. I just bring like tins or whatever, you know, like real, not the best of foods, and to see it all being done fresh and all the herbs and everything, fruit and veg, it was amazing. Food quality is on point. So yeah, and it's all part of the price as well. So it's a real good deal what we offer. So yeah, do come along. Amazing.
It's definitely something not to be missed, guys. It's definitely.
I think the food alone, the posh camping food.
Yeah. Like I said, I cook with passion, guys. I love to cook, and I love when people feel good about my cooking. So yeah, definitely like to cook, guys. Definitely. Maybe give this coriander a little wash. And again, guys, the power of coriander and parsley, these are the things that you need to start introducing into your cooking on a regular basis, because these are the things that, they're like power food, power energy food that we don't understand. So again, it's definitely worth introducing into your cooking, definitely.
Yeah, you always put ginger in as well, don't you?
Definitely.
It's really good for the immune system.
Absolutely. It's just about going back to the old kinds of seasonings, like I said to you before. It's like the modern day seasoning is what's killing us, you know. It's got all the salt in it, so I try and go back to the old things that our mums grew up on, or our dads grew up on. So I'm trying to bring that style of cooking back to us. So now that's I'm happy with that there. Now I'm going to add my sauce in here. A little bit. I'll add my sweet and sour sauce in there now. And this meal here, guys, I'm cooking for free. I've got the camera woman there, holding the camera there. And you can't see her there, she's in the background. So, cooking for free, guys. So this is going to be 3 of us. And I've got the chilies in there as well, yeah, to give it a little bit of a kick. Not too much though, a little bit. And look at them flavours there, guys. Look at them colours. I love cooking with colours there, guys. Got the reds, got the oranges, yeah, got the yellows, got the greens. You know, beautiful. Definitely love cooking with colours. So we're going to plate this up now. That's done. Let me get my tweezers. Tongs. Call them tweezers. My daughter calls them tongues. Call them tweezers. I mean, to finish off, guys, I've got a bit of a soundtrack I want you guys to hear. So we're gonna play that on the way out. Actually, yeah, you can tell me how you feel about that. Definitely.
Thank you.
Again, guys, this is stir fry again. This is under a £5. We're under a £5. I got this from Aldi. You can probably get it from any supermarket. Like I said, yeah, definitely under a £5, guys. Packed a lot of stuff. In a second, not yet. So yeah, I've got got a tune here, guys, that a friend of mine basically put together. And tell me what you think. Definitely tell me what you think. We're going to play in a second. 1 second. Not yet, Mia. Not yet. Not yet. Not yet. Mia's ready. So again, not yet, Mia. So again, a little bit of
looks lovely. That
coriander on top there.
Nice.
So again, welcome to another episode of Breaking Bread here. This is the finished product there of our sweet and sour stir fry. Again, guys, packed with vitamins. Looking yum. I can't even wait to try this. But to finish off, guys, we're going to play our little song on the way out. So listen to our song here, guys. Tell me what you think. This is Gabriel.
Time to change the game and break the ways that shape how we were raised. Without getting too dark today, we grew from concrete, influenced by our circumstances. See, it's never too pretty in the inner city. You know that madness was always just a touch too gritty. Our circumstances produce minimal chances and silent voices, but this is game changers. We're liberated by defiant, powerful choices. I'm talking about lifting spirits, breaking limits, and cracking concrete to exhibit the roles that grew within it. The community needs to break bread together so unity doesn't break threads in turbulent weather. Instead, let's measure how many of our young people are taking chances, creating opportunities and making advancements. Measure how many of our young people fulfill potential, and we capture the minds of the OGs because we can't deny that they're influential. This is game changers. We make neighbours. Break bread like the disciples with the Saviour. Stand tall like towers, we won't waver. Or fall like cowards because we're moving braver. This is game changers.
Thank you again, Claire, for tuning in today. Thank everyone for tuning in. Please like and share. And again, see you guys again next Friday, 5 p.m. Again, Breaking Bread, Game Changer. Peace. Have a wonderful day.
Goodbye. How do I turn it up?